Hello guys, and welcome to the first video on my channel. So this channel is going to be post-match, pre-match and analysis regarding Arsenal games moving forward. And I'd say where better to start than, the biggest game, the biggest Premier League game in Arsenal's calendar, the away game at Manchester City at the Etihad. We're a ground where we've enjoyed probably nothing but miserable days for better part of the last decade, if not longer. Only last year at the Emirates did we finally pick up a win against Manchester City in the league in, a miserable amount of attempts, really. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Arsenal do move along against Manchester City. Just going to talk about a couple of talking points, team news, what my thoughts are regarding the game. So team news, obviously Arsenal without summer signing and European Championship winner Mikel Merino. Still out after that training shoulder injury that he picked up after, I believe, Gabriel fell on top of him. Very innocuous and very unfortunate. Looking like he's going to be out till mid-October. Coupled alongside the absence of our skipper and Norway captain Martin Odegaard. He's looking like he's going to be out for a similar amount of time after suffering an injury whilst away with Norway. So what I would say is Arsenal looking quite light in midfield at this moment in time. However, the return of Declan Rice from suspension after he picked up 2 yellows against Brighton. Very, very timely for Arsenal, I would say, to be honest with you. Up top is another concern, probably Gabriel Martinelli. I was looking around at Gabriel Martinelli's form recently, and it's no surprise from the way he carries himself on the pitch and the way he plays. His confidence looks like it's shot to bits. It really does. And he's got no goals or assists in the last, I believe it's 16-17 league outings, league starts. Personally, he would be dropped for me. He wouldn't be starting against Manchester City. We need our most confident 11 out there. And I would probably go with a front three comprising of Leandro Trossard off the left hand side. Probably go with Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz as normal. Another point, Raheem Sterling. Again, a lot's been made of Raheem Sterling's transfer to Arsenal on loan from Chelsea. My personal opinion, divided. There's the negative aspect of, is he really in form at this moment in time? How much is he possibly able to bring to Arsenal? Is he the right fit to bring that experience blend to those young wingers, such as, Saka's, the Martinellis, so on and so forth. The one thing you can't doubt about Raheem Sterling is trophies that he's won at Manchester City, the plethora of top end clubs that he's played for within the Premier League, Liverpool's, your Chelsea's, your City's now making his debut recently against for Arsenal. He really is adept at these big games. He's been playing at the top level, of the English game for, quite some time now. So, definitely something to potentially be considered if we are just looking for that little bit of experience and that little bit of nous, for this big game. May potentially be able to bring him on in place. Again, if Martinelli starts, bring him on in place of Martinelli off that left-hand side. Potentially do a rejig around the 50-60 minute mark. Again, if Mikel does decide to go with Martinelli. Just to get Martinelli off that pitch if he's not performing well. Which again, my personal opinion, I think he will struggle if he does start tomorrow. Again, so first video, and anyone that for any of those people that are watching that know me, David Raya. Now, I've not been a big fan of David Raya since he joined from Brentford on loan a year ago, and I was not very impressed when we sold Aaron Ramsdale, who, you know, was a fan favourite of mine. He really was. He really was a favourite of mine. Loved him, loved his embodiment of the character of the club, the way he interacted with the fans. You know, very sad, you know, to actually see Aaron go, to be honest with you. But I think Mikel's got this right. After seeing last year in the Champions League against Porto, where he dragged us through in that penalty shootout with a few magnificent saves. And again, the start to the season has been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it? Couple of outrageous double saves, firstly, namely against Villa from Ollie Watkins, and then obviously Atalanta against Matteo Retegui, Italian international striker. Along him behind, obviously, William Saliba, Gabriel, absolute rocks. And also now finally getting to see what Yuri Timber is all about after his unfortunate knee injury that kept him out all of last season against Forest. Finally good to see him pairing up with Ben White in those fullback positions. Arsenal's defence, probably going to be the main reason if Arsenal do pick up that win tomorrow. Probably going to be the main reason why. Only conceded 1 goal so far, you know, in competitive football this season, that being against Brighton. Clean sheets in all of the games so far, which is, again, testament to that back five, obviously shielded by, you know, wonderful midfielders such as Declan Rice, and obviously, unfortunately, up until now, Martin Odegaard. So my prediction for tomorrow's game, given where City are at, Haaland 9 goals already, more goals alone than any other Premier League team so far this season. So, yeah, he's on fire. But obviously, again, Arsenal's defence managed him quite well last year. Kevin De Bruyne potentially out. Picked up a knock and came off at half time against Inter Milan in the Champions League. So again, question marks regarding his fitness and whether he'll be available for tomorrow. So yeah, my opinions. I think it's hard to go against the draw. To be honest, I think Arsenal, with that immovable rock of a defence against the unstoppable force that seems to be, you know, the Manchester City machine and Erling Haaland. Obviously, my heart's telling me that Arsenal will go out there, get them 3 points, probably with a header from Gabriel. And obviously, the brain would also tell you that Manchester City are probably going to get those 3 points. My thoughts: I'm probably going to go with a 1-1 draw. I do think one of our centre halves will grab that goal. I do think it might potentially be Saliba's turn to show up from a set piece. And then obviously the main man for Manchester City, the one who always seems to be there on the spot to, you know, grab those goals for Manchester City, Erling Haaland. So my thoughts: 1-1, you know, for tomorrow. Sure to be an interesting battle, I would probably say, with how the midfield shape up. Obviously Arsenal without Odegaard, with Rice back, and obviously City, obviously potentially without De Bruyne. You know, but again, obviously those question marks will all be answered tomorrow. Again, thanks guys very much for watching the video. My first time obviously making one of these videos, but it'll be the first of many, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.